The TrekWorks YouTube channel is sponsored by HDA ModelWorks, suppliers of scale lighting products, detail accessory parts, and complete model kits. Visit HDAModelWorks.com today.
Hello everybody, Boyd here with you again, and welcome to part 2 of my B-36 Peacemaker build. Just want to get you guys caught up on what I've been doing. Been working on it over the last couple of days, over the weekend here, and things are moving along really good. This model's going together great. I'll have a little slideshow here after I finish talking about what I've done so far that'll show you some of the the interior detail going together, the cockpit and the flight deck and all that, and how I painted it, and some of the other details. I've got all the landing gear and everything done here. Got the canopies done, just using a Sharpie and some craft paint there on the top dome of the upper canopy. Got some different colors going on the landing gear. We had to build the wheels. All the wheels were 2/2, so I had to sand those, get them all fitting nicely, and then fix the seams in the middle. Used a couple different colors of craft paints, some titanium, some pewter, and then some bright chrome on the landing gear detail there. The body of the ship, the fuselage, has gone together really, really nice. I've got the seam work all done all the way around it. As I was saying when I did the first test fitting of these parts, the parts were fitting really, really well. I had just a little bit of a step in a couple spots, where one side was higher than the other. On the top and the bottom. So I just took a number 11, hobby knife, brand new. It's the way that I fixed that. I just kind of shaved along, scraped it sideways and just shaved it until I got it down to where it was level, in all those little spots there. And then just came back and used some of this 3M Spot Putty. I like to use this stuff if it's, really small, minor gaps, and we don't have a problem with any huge openings, because that putty's a little bit soft, but you can see it filled in all the gaps here really nice. I laid down 2 strips of tape all the way around, just leaving about that much, where I was working on the gaps. When I was sanding, I didn't sand away any of these nice, not going to show up too well in primer here, but when I spray the bright chrome finish on this in a minute, you'll see all the little panel lines are still intact. I went back with a scribe, and scribed around any areas where the putty built up on these edges and stuff, and got those back looking sharp again. Went up over the tail all the way down. Now, I did manage to break the front guns off. That's something that you're really going to have to work hard not to do when you're working on this kit, because you got to put that whole assembly in before you put the fuselage together. And you're doing so much swinging this thing around and hanging on to it and sanding it and doing all kinds of stuff that I knew either the front or the tail guns were going to get broke off, so I broke off the front ones, but not to worry. I'll shave those down just a little bit. When I'm all done putting everything else together, I'll make some of those out of some, I think I'm going to use some fiber optic, little short pieces of fiber optic, and paint them, and you'll never know. They'll look like the guns are back in place, so that's a tough one, but did manage to save the rear guns and not break those. We got these little blisters here. Now, originally I was going to back tape those so that I didn't get paint in there, but you have to put these little parts in beforehand, and the rings are supposed to be painted silver, so I'm just going to let the overspray hit that when I paint the outside of the ship here. And then the center parts, they're either sights or they're cameras, so those are just supposed to be painted black. I'll go in there and hand paint those after we're all said and done here, and then the little clear dome bubbles go over the top. You can see I masked everything off real careful here. I got the Bombay down below masked off. I've got the cockpit upper and lower, the bombardier glass down here masked off. And so that was it. Pretty much straightforward, guys, on the putting the 2 halves together. I just wanted to show you I've started to paint a little bit. This is the top of the starboard wing, and I just wanted to show you this nice sheen that's on here. This is the I'm going to be using this VHT. I'll set this out here for you. This is the VHT plate finish. I talked about this. You guys can see a little bit of detail about this on the Model Shop Live episode, or I'm sorry, the Trek Works at the Bench episode I posted Saturday night. If you haven't seen that already, there's some update on the B-36. I talked about this paint and everything, but this is what I'm using. It's VHT. It's available at AutoZone, O'Reilly's, places like that, or you can order it online. It's called their Plate Finish. It's very similar to like an all-clad, polished aluminum look. Gives a really nice bright look here. Here's the tail assemblies. I've got those glued together. All the putty work's been done, and they're painted and ready to go. Those will get glued on separately at the end. But the sheen on that is just what I was looking for. Really nice. So the plan for that is I'm going to completely paint the model with this paint, and then let it dry. You have to really allow some drying time with this stuff. None of this chrome finish paint dries really fast. It takes I'll probably let this sit a full day after I spray it, and let it cure out. And we'll still have to be really careful. I'm going to seal it with some of this all-clad aqua gloss. This stuff right here. This is an old bottle. I don't want to really use it on this model, but it's made for going over this metallic finish, so you don't have a loss of that sheen. So I ordered a new bottle of that. That'll be in here Tuesday, and I'll be using that to spray the seal coat. I'll seal coat all my chrome or bright finished parts here, the fuselage, the wings, and everything, and then I'm going to go in and start painting on. This ship has kind of segmented looking. It's got some paneling that's looks duller, like a magnesium kind of color, kind of a dull, a duller type, darker gray. So I'm going to paint some of those panels on, and then I'll go ahead and put the decals on it, and then we'll seal it again with this stuff. So it'll get sealed right off the bat as soon as I finish spraying the the bright finish, and we'll seal that entire thing, let that dry, then I'll do the dull spots with the magnesium colored paint, and then I'll come back and seal everything again once I put all my decals down, and we should be looking pretty good. I've got to come up with some there's some black striping that goes on the top of the wings. I'm going to have to figure out how to paint that on. Might have to mask it and paint it on there, but I want to put the sealer on that first. This bright finish paint is just really soft. You have to have a protective shell on it, so this will do the job for that. So that's going to be pretty much it for here, guys. I'm going to set the camera back up here in just a second on a tripod, and I'm going to just show you the spray down of the bright finish on the fuselage here. I thought you guys might want to see that and how well this stuff works, and we'll see what the fuselage looks like done on a bright finish after we're done with that. Then we'll be taking a break until the next update, where we'll show you the model getting a lot closer to being done. Be right back. I'm going to set up the camera on the tripod. Alright, back with you once more, and we're ready to start spraying. I hope it doesn't sound like a wind tunnel. Got my ventilation on. We're going to spray the model down. I've wiped it all down, got it all cleaned up, ready to go, make sure there's no dust on it. And I'm ready to spray with my VHT. Now, one thing I want to mention about this is really important is that you want to shake this stuff really good every time you spray it. Even if you just sprayed 5 minutes ago, shake it really good again. The pigments in this, that really fine metallic pigment that gives you that beautiful chrome look or bright polished aluminum look, it tends to settle in the bottom of this stuff every time, so you want to shake it really good. Which I've already done that, but I'm going to shake it a little bit more, and then we're going to be ready to go. Just do a little quick test spray into my trash can, and we're going to, luckily I've got this big old spar piece that I can hold on to now. I'm just going to make passes over the top, and then kind of turn it over and do the whole model, the whole fuselage here. So you'll see how well this stuff covers. It covers really good, and you don't have to blob it on there. Just a nice, even, smooth coat, and it gives a beautiful sheen on there. Okay, it's already covered really, really good. I'm going to turn it over now and go for the bottom half. Now this whole bottom is going to get painted in white, but we'll mask that off separately and do that later. Okay, and I'm going to switch over to the other side. Make a pass down this way. Make sure I overlap my other paint so it blends in. doesn't look rough. I'll go all the way across the tail. I know you guys probably can't even see the whole plane in this shot, but I'll try to capture it, just making sure I get around that tail gun. Now I'm just misting down on it to, we're already covered. I just want to mist down on it and make sure I overlap all the paint so we don't leave any rough action. Especially on the nice flat surfaces that we're going to see. Okay everybody, back with you once more to show you the result of our paint work here. Just want to lay the camera along the fuselage here to give you an example of that really nice sheen that you get with this silver paint, this plate finish from VHT. It's got a really nice luster to it. You can see it laid down on their baby smooth. You can see we did a good job on our seams. Otherwise they'd be showing up like a sore thumb right now. This silver will magnify any kind of imperfection you have. So I made sure I had it all wiped down really good. We didn't have any dirt or dust in it, and it came out really great. That's some really good stuff to work with. I'll be letting this dry for at least 24 hours, probably a couple of days before I try to do anything more with it. It's going to be until Tuesday until the aqua gloss gets here, and then I'll go ahead and seal the entire thing down with that. Then I'll let that dry a good day or so, and then I'll come back and mask off the bottom and do all the white. Then I'll be painting on all the individual darker shades of aluminum paneling on the fuselage here. We're going to make this look kind of segmented like it should. And then we'll put the decals down, and then we'll seal it once more with the aqua gloss, and that'll pretty much be a wrap for the fuselage, I think. Can put the canopies and everything on. Then we'll finish up with the wings. We'll come back in the next video and be working on the wings, the engines and everything. And it'll be getting pretty close to being done in another couple of updates, I think. This is going along really, really well. Again, that's the VHT plate finish. If you guys want to try that stuff out, I highly recommend it. If you're using a lot of silver all-clads and everything, this will save you a little bit of money. And you don't have to do that, dark black gloss before you put this on here. I sprayed this right over, regular gray primer, and it's beautiful. You don't want to put it on too thick, like I said, and make sure you finish up by misting over the entire thing so you don't leave any overspray. If you stop in a certain spot, the little bit of rough overspray will give it a little bit of roughness, so you just want to make sure you blend all that in. But don't go too far where you get runs, because this is a heavy, thick paint. But a little bit of practice and you'll be really loving this stuff. It's really great. Alright guys, well there'll be a little slideshow here at the end showing you the interior parts going together. I did a little update on this on the TrekWorks Live at the Bench episode 3. And I showed what I was working on in the interior. I'll mention that I put a little RC motor, an old RC motor I had here that's about that big around, about that long, right in this empty spot on the fuselage for weight. So somebody mentioned that the model needed weight in the front end. So it's balancing out really nice now. And when we set it on a level surface, the plane will stay on the nose wheel. So didn't want to put too much weight because it's only plastic gear. We don't want to overburden it, but I think it'll be just about right. I talk about all that in the middle of that update on the episode 3. It's about halfway through the episode if you guys want to check that out. So hope you enjoyed it. Check out the slideshow here at the end. We'll be back probably midweek or towards the end of the week with another update, and we'll be back with working on the wings. We'll see you for that one, everybody. Take care, and happy modeling, everyone.